Hi, and this video is a disclaimer, and it concerns the screenshot of a message that was posted in the Telegram account, discussion group account, where people discuss the content in my X page and also the content on my Rumble channels. And recently on my Rumble channels, I posted some videos that I took in Karlstad, Sweden, during the May 1st activities that different revolutionary left organizations were hosting in Karlstad, Sweden, inclusive a counter demonstration against Alternative for Sweden. And I demonstrated with the Communist Party, right? And anyways, one person who had viewed my content on X and Rumble commented on Telegram that I was, quote, an African pretending to be an American, end quote. So that I'm just a scam, right? And the reason I highlight this is because it just goes to show just the level of contempt and hatred that exists in Western Europe for Africans, especially sub-Saharan Africans. And this person was from a Scandinavian country that wrote this, right? And, in the mentality of Scandinavians, apparently, to call somebody African is to instantly delegitimize them and instantly dehumanize them. And that was the intent. That was the intent of the comment. The intent of the comment was not to state a statement of my nationality, hypothetical nationality, but to denigrate me, to like delegitimize me, to dehumanize me, because that is what happens in European West European countries recently, especially Scandinavia. When it comes to the attitude they have towards people from Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africans, the black Africans of sub-Saharan Africa are treated like scum in Scandinavian countries. They're treated like subhumans. And with Arabic North Africans is a little bit less, but still, because I remember my fiance Yusuf, who was refouled by Sweden in 2013, one time told me that basically this is a direct quote, the life for Africans in Sweden is a living hell, both Arabic and black, right? And the blacks is even worse, so yeah. So, I just found it really, really, it's not that I feel offended about being called African. It's okay. I don't, if somebody wants to call me, mistakenly say, are you African? I'm like, I understand that. But to like call me an African who is pretending to be American with the intention of delegitimize me, dehumanize me, vilify me, I just found that to be really, really ominous and really horrible. Just the level of, just the level of prejudice, and it's sort of like not looking at people as individuals, but as sort of like a collective, members of a collective entity, which I pride myself on being an autonomous individual. So, which is a viewpoint, which is like a psychology antithetical to being African, because at least for what I understand, most sub-Saharan Africans have a collectivist mentality. So, but yeah, I just thought that was really, really, really sad that somebody thought that by calling me an African, they would be denigrating me, or like saying that I am an African, or like that would automatically turn me into a subhuman, right? And delegitimize anything I say or do. I just thought that was really ominous about the state of prejudice in Scandinavian countries today. And just to clarify things, I have plenty of proof that I am not from Africa. I've never set foot in the continent of Africa. The Swedish Migration Board in March of 2019 conducted a language test, and the expert they hired to test my language to see where I came from certified that I speak with a Caribbean accent when I speak, the language she was testing. was a Caribbean accent. The woman certified that I am Caribbean, Central American Caribbean. She said it was either Central American or Central American slash Caribbean. She said, you know, um, and she also wrote there that I have a Florida accent, which is correct. I mean, I was raised in Florida, so now what happens is, as far as my looks are concerned, the reason I look like a pardo, a mixed person, is because my mother came from the region of what is called La Nueva Granada, New Granada, which is the area of South America that is composed of Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, and Panama, right? That region is called La Nueva Granada, and my mother comes from that region. Now, she is the descendant of African slaves that were taken from people that were taken from Africa and sent to La Nueva Granada to work as slaves, and Gitanos from Spain. Okay, so my mother has a mixed African slave slash Spanish Gitano background, right? So I have sort of like Gitano and African slave on my mother's side. And then on my father's side, he is the direct descendant of exiles from Catalonia who fled Catalonia in late 1938 in order to escape the fall of Catalonia to the Francoists.